Welcome back, everyone. Today we're unpacking something absolutely fascinating. We've all been there, right? Someone does us dirty. An ex, a friend, maybe a situationship, and that immediate burning instinct is to strike back, to make them hurt just as much as they hurt you. But today, we are completely flipping the script on traditional chaotic revenge. We're looking at a strategy that doesn't just level the playing field, but entirely removes you from the game, elevating you to a place of total control. We are talking about the strategy of apathy.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our strategic blueprint for reclaiming your power. First, the revenge paradox. Second, the power of neutrality. Third, the glow-up strategy. Fourth, strict rules of engagement. And finally, the ultimate ghosting story.
So before we really get into the mechanics of this, I want you to ask yourself a question. What is the absolute most devastating way to get revenge? I want you to really rethink those hot-blooded desires you might have right now. You know the ones. The urge to lash out, to fire off that angry text paragraph, or just make a massive scene. We naturally assume that making noise equals making an impact, right? But as we're about to see from our source material, the loudest response is actually the weakest.
Part 1. The Revenge Paradox.
This is the very first stage of our paradigm shift. We have to understand how our own natural instincts actually betray us in the aftermath of a breakup. When you act out, you think you're taking your power back, but you're actually handing it right back to the villain of your story. Think about Hollywood revenge. You know, smashing their car, burning their clothes on the front lawn, maybe even sleeping with their brother or their friend. Sure, it's dramatic, it's chaotic, but here's the reality check. Doing any of this just comes back to haunt you. Why? Because it proves to them that they have profoundly affected you. Sometimes the people who hurt us actually want to see that damage. It makes them feel important. It literally lets them live rent-free in your head. Real revenge, on the other hand, is doing absolutely nothing at all. As the source material points out, a mother once very wisely advised that the absolute best revenge against someone who hurt you is completely, totally forgetting about them.
Which brings us to Section 2, the power of neutrality.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it frames everything. If you want to think of this explainer as a secret masterclass in emotional control, neutrality is your core curriculum. We're moving from the concept of just doing nothing to the actual emotional state of feeling nothing. Neutrality isn't just ignoring someone. It is the act of entirely discarding someone so they become completely meaningless. Think about it. People would honestly rather you actively hate them than feel absolutely nothing for them. Because hate implies they still matter. Hate means they still hold weight in your life. But when you are truly neutral, you've effectively thrown them in the trash. They're nothing. When they finally realize that their actions no longer dictate your emotions, they will literally be kept up at night wondering, wait, am I really not important enough for them to even be mad? It completely strips them of their ego.
But hey, this isn't just about playing mind games with an axe. This is actually about your own biological well-being. The text here hits hard for a really good reason. Studies continually show that holding on to hate, anger, and resentment doesn't just poison your mind. It physically breeds disease and illness. It literally compromises your immune system. So you have to ask yourself, do you want this person who betrayed you to not only have power over your daily emotions, but to potentially have power over your physical health? To slowly kill you with stress? Absolutely not. Forgiving them, or actually scratch that, at the very least reaching that state of pure neutrality is quite literally a survival tactic.
Moving right along to Section 3, the glow-up strategy.
Once you've achieved that baseline of emotional detachment, it is time to build. We're pivoting right now from internal emotional management to external, calculated, undeniable self-improvement. You should be able to manipulate the pain of a breakup and use it as high-octane fuel to become the absolute best version of yourself. Step 1, hit the gym. Channel all that nervous energy into your physical health. Step 2, start a side hustle. Build up your financial independence and hyper-focus on your career. And Step 3, learn from your past mistakes and start dating potential suitors who are infinitely better than the person you were with before. I want you to picture this exact scenario. You're walking down the street, you run into your ex, and on your arm is someone who they can't even begin to compare to, all while you are looking the absolute best you've ever looked. I mean, that visual, it is completely devastating.
And you know, this brilliantly illustrates that exact point. I don't worry about ever seeing my ex in public because they could never afford to be where I am. Wow. Just think about the immense satisfaction in that statement. It's the ultimate power play. You aren't hiding from them. You've just leveled up your life so significantly that you no longer exist in the same stratosphere. You have completely priced them out of your reality.
Section 4, strict rules of engagement.
Now, reaching that elite level of apathy and success, it requires immense discipline. You cannot achieve this if you're constantly slipping back into your old habits. So, consider this your non-negotiable manifesto for maintaining your newly reclaimed power. First up, never break no contact. The exact moment you reach out, you surrender your power and you drastically slow down your own healing process. Second, no subtweeting or posting lame, sad quotes on your stories. Look, everyone knows exactly what you're doing, and frankly, it just kind of looks weak. Third, ruthlessly protect your emotions. You have to make people actually earn the right to know personal things about you. Don't just hand your trust over freely. And finally, if they do reach out, you must be so disgusted by their past actions that you never, ever take them back.
So, the crucial point is really captured in this comparison here. Look at the stark difference in how you exit a relationship. If you throw a massive tantrum and destroy their things, that is a giant red flag. It proves to them that you cannot regulate your emotions. In their mind, they'll just think, wow, I dodged a bullet. But if you execute a perfectly gracious, silent exit, oh man, that destroys their ego. It leaves them forever wondering about you. It instantly cements your status as the one who got away.
Which leads us to Section 5, the ultimate ghosting story.
To truly understand how devastating a quiet exit can be, we really have to look at a real-world example. This is a pretty famous case study from Reddit that anchors every single concept we've talked about today into one flawlessly executed vanishing act. Let's move to and see how this builds, because the chronological perfection here is absolutely chilling. We have a woman who is in a relationship for 10 whole years. Year 10, she discovers her partner has another girlfriend. Does she scream? Does she smash his car? Nope. Day 1, she executes a brilliantly strategic move. She had bought him dinner, and she simply leaves that food sitting right on the dinner table. Just think of the psychological impact of that for a second. He comes home to a caring meal from his girlfriend of a decade, instantly realizing what a lousy loser he is for cheating on her. Day 2, she completely deletes all her social media profiles, changes her number, and get this, even changes her name. By week 1, she has moved to an entirely new city with a brand new job. She ghosted him, completely out of the blue. He could never, ever contact her again.
I want you to really think about the number 80 for a second. Why 80? Because you better believe that even when that cheating man is 80 years old, sitting in a rocking chair somewhere, he is still going to be haunted by this. He is going to spend the rest of his life thinking, holy crap, my girlfriend of 10 years just ghosted. Just like that, not a single word. That is the absolute zenith of strategic apathy. She played on his mind for the rest of his natural life by simply evaporating.
Which brings us to our final thought, and it's a question you really have to answer for yourself right now. When someone deeply betrays you, are you going to let them live rent-free in your mind by throwing a tantrum? Or will you apply this strategic blueprint, reclaim your power, glow up to a level they can only dream of, and choose to make them a ghost? The choice and the power is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay focused, and I'll see you in the next one.